If you watch our channel, you've seen me try to do this. Look at that, first shot. You've seen me do this a few times starting one of these videos. So let me call back to this in a second. So, what's in the box?
What's in the box?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to that Range Lifer channel, sometimes about golf. Do me a favor, right out of the gate, as usual, please go down below, hit subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified every time we post a video here on the channel. And while you're at it, you know, just give the thumbs up. It helps. We really appreciate it. My name is Bill Bush from DriveRangeHeroes.com, at Range Heroes. On pretty much all the social media platforms. I think if I'm missing one, I apologize, but go find me there and give us a follow. A little bit of a different one today for an unboxing, and maybe I'm hoping a precursor to getting another idea off the road. But this was not sent by a company to review or test, but rather from my good friend Kyle, who lives out in California now, and he's had the golf bug for quite some time, but it's really taken off since he moved out there. And actually, Kyle and I used to work together, and he is who I got this from. And the reason I got this from him was because my original one was on my desk at work, and Kyle was playing with it one day, and it just broke. And it was kind of funny because these things have like glittery water in them, and it was all over him, all over the ground, but he broke it, and we love this thing at the office. So that's a replacement. Shout out Kyle. This is also from Kyle. So let's get into it and talk about what we have here. Okay, let's be careful. These things are tough to get out, but one of these times I'm gonna horrifically injure myself with this knife. And all the times I talk about knife safety in the videos, and I'm gonna get myself. Oh, look at that. Gives it away right there. An Autoflex shaft. I didn't realize Autoflex had these slick shipping sleeves. It's like a, like a mesh material on this side. That's neat. Open that up. Unsheath it. The Autoflex Dream 7. What do you know about Autoflex? I think some people know about it, especially a lot of the golf gear nerds, but not super well known. I found out my buddy Kyle got one of these, and we were talking about it, and basically it wasn't for him. So he said, hey, I want to send it over to you back in the Chicagoland area. I want you to test it, see what you think of it. So shout out Kyle for sending this out for me to try. And maybe that's something I'm into. Let's try that. If you have some weird piece of golf gear, you'd be interested in hearing what Chris and I think about it and having us test it and talk about it, hit me up at Bill at DriveRangeHeroes.com. Pop it right here or something so you can see it, and we'll figure it out. Maybe that'd be a nice little series. I don't know, but who knows what weird gear you guys might send, and we'd get to talk about here on the channel and have a crazy wild golf experience. But if you're interested in doing that, hit me up. Let's figure it out. So I generally, since these came out, the idea being, you're not so much worried about your swing speed, and it's more about tempo and feel. And this shaft will adapt to basically your swing and be the flex you need it to be. I feel like that's probably not as technical and scientific of an explanation about it as the big fans would say, but that's the general layman's term concept of this. And I will be honest, I thought these things seemed generally gimmicky, really cool finishes, very expensive. I thought that's basically what was happening here. It was a big hype beast thing, right, that people were getting into. But, enough people beyond just catering to the ultimate golf nerd obsession for expensive gear have gone with these and had some success, like all the way up and through tours and into long drives. So there must be There must be something to them. Enough that I went, all right, I am genuinely curious, but I'll be honest, that price barrier to entry is a little high, so I haven't gotten to it yet. The idea, they say there's a Korean hidden technology with the finest Japanese carbon fibers, so premium materials made in Korea, and their goal is to essentially make shaft fitting easier. They claim their process has been quite confusing for a long time. Now, I don't know if I agree with that. I don't think shaft fitting is all that complicated, especially if you have access to them to test. They have general profiles they're designed for, and you have a natural swing that needs the right counterpart. You test them on a launch monitor, you can figure it out pretty easily. I think that gets a little more complicated the more nuanced swings get. So the idea is to make it easier for average to slow swing speeds to swing faster without swinging harder. And they're not the first shaft company to go after that, but I think it's a little different of a concept. And they say their lineup of shafts, they have different models, which we'll talk about in a sec. Models and like weights, flexes, things like that. We'll talk about in a second. But they can cater to anything from 65 miles up to 140 mile per hour swing speeds. That is a fast swing. The big thing for these shafts apparently is you need to get your swing weight right, and they say D0 to D2 for a driver. If you go too heavy, it's going to start getting. They say it'll get wobbly on you really fast, and a little lighter, more flexible nature in this is the general concept. I think across all of them, there's three models. Again, we'll talk about that later. So D0 to D2. I'm sure there's more to it if you got with a good fitter who sells these where maybe they can go a little different direction depending on your swing and the output coming from it. But then higher launch angles, but not with a higher spin. So you're going to still get that rollout, pierce through the wind. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing. Maybe you need a little spin to hold the ball up in the air. So we'll find out how it spins. What else? The different specs, it gets kind of complicated here too. I'm going to look at notes here, but the SF405, that's more for the mortals. I think the human swing speeds, but it's still in the up there. I think it's like 95 to 100-ish, 105 range. And then they have the SF505, which is your 110 mile an hour plus swingers. And then as I was doing my research, you get into like there's 405X, 505X. So they're clearly adding more stiffnesses in as the evolution of the brand is continuing. Company intended for the shaft to be used with a smoother swing. So I don't know how it's going to hold up to my super aggressive, hard transition hockey player swing. I might have to even it out, smooth it out a little bit. Now, here's the thing. They do warn these are flexier shafts. So if you go with too soft of one, like the SF 305, but you're swinging at 110 miles an hour and you have it to D2, you could break this. They're whippy and they have a little more of a flexy profile. Kyle has told me that it was a little wet noodly for him if he ever got basically got his tempo wrong. But you get that right combination, you could snap one of these guys, I assume. So I'll be interested to see. This is an SF405X, I think I said. That shouldn't be too bad for me. I'm not going to break this thing, but something to be aware of if you're going to invest in these. They do have an online fitting tool. I went through it and says I'm a better fit for the original driver shaft in 505, and then it said black. Now, I can't tell if color matters, but when you do the online fitting tool, it did recommend the original driver SF505 in black. Don't know why, but I guess I like black, so it fits. But that is not what this is. This is the Dream, the Dream 7, and apparently the Dream 7 is a little softer than the original, but more stable. So I'll be curious. I guess it's hard. I don't have the original to A/B this with, but I'm curious how they make it feel softer but more stable. So it sounds intriguing. All of that put together, a soft and stable feel, something that's it's not based off of traditional flex and whatnot, and it's supposed to be a little whippy. Even that, it's an easy bend. I know, like, what does that mean? But you can, you can really feel there's some spring in this guy. Okay, I can't wait to try it. It looks super cool. Kind of has like a almost reminds me of like a giraffe print, but I think they're flowers. Pop off Kyle's ping tip and put something else on it to test it in one of my drivers. Very expensive. Now, they do offer a used option, certified used. I don't know about that. I mean, I assume it's certified, that's guaranteed, they do stuff. So if you break it or there's something structurally wrong with it, they'll take care of you. But saves you a couple $100. That said, I don't love the idea of spending that kind of money on a known used shaft from them. But hey, find out more about it, try it out for yourself, save the money because otherwise, I mean, some of these you're looking at like $800-900, right, for just a golf shaft. All right, the Autoflex Dream 7 here for me. That's what I'm going to be trying out. Hopefully, at the least, it'll be an interesting experience, and I will share it here on the channel. But in the meantime, one last reminder: go down below, hit the bell, so you're notified every time we post a video on the channel. Subscribe, and go follow me at Range Heroes and hit up driverangeheroes.com. There will be a review on this soon. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time.